Hello everybody, there's the green light. Let me go post our link for today's broadcast onto our website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and we meet here every day and have two levels of lessons. The foundations lesson level, which teaches you how to play fingerstyle ukulele, and then the next tough section, which is how to keep you going, get you to that high level where you start to bump other people off the stage because you're just that good. Alright, today we're working on Happy Birthday as our song of the day, and it'll be a short lesson because it is a fairly straightforward piece of music. Make sure the link is working properly. Click. Foundations level 19. That's exactly where you should end up. And then I want to do one other thing here. I ended up missing yesterday, and so I'm confused as to where we left off. Amazing Grace, that's what I thought. Alright, now let's go put this on Twitter while everybody comes in and gets set down to play. HTTP jollyrogerukulele.com. There's that. And then we had the picture. Foundations, lesson 19. Can you believe it? Lesson 19 already. Alright. Tweet. Alright, we have tweeted. That. And then we can close this, and we do that, and we're ready to roll. Alright, so close Twitter out, and that's about all I know. We'll wait just a minute or two for everybody to get settled in. It's only 4 after, so we'll usually wait a couple minutes. I missed yesterday, and rather than trying to catch up and do 2 things at once, I just moved everything down a day. It's fine. G-H Happy birthday. Play everything on ukulele and on baritone every day, and so that gives you a chance to figure out which instrument's best for you. And peek at the baritone version of this. Yeah, the baritone version, if I remembered, it needs a little bit of love. So, alright, that's that. Where is everybody? Taking their time getting here today. I missed yesterday, and they're like, well, fine, that's it, we're out. Michelle made it in. Beautiful sunny day up in Rockaway Beach, Oregon. Yeah, Oregon's been having some pretty decent weather, and here in Denver we got snow overnight again, about 10 inches up in Boulder, about 4 inches here in the city, and so we're all shoveling. There's probably the Denver people are out shoveling. All right, I ate a cookie right before this class, and I know better. Because they always end up getting stuck right here when I'm talking, and so if I knock over dead in the middle of this lesson, you'll know why. Alright. Alright. Happy birthday. Alright, let's get started. Might as well get it done, right? So, last week we ended with Amazing Grace, and the thought behind Amazing Grace was if you hold this G chord and you do minimal amounts of work, the song will come out. Right? So we're thinking I'm going to hold this G chord and have the least amount of work possible and make that happen. Happy Birthday's not all that much different, except that you know this song. And so if you play this with other people, they're going to have expectations that you play it in the standard issue Happy Birthday program. And so we're going to learn how to play this thing in a couple of different ways, and then we're going to talk about how you really need to know how to learn it or how to play it. So first off, let's play the melody. You know the melody on this song, everybody does. We've got 2s in the melody, and we have 3s, and way down in measure 5 we have a 5. So it makes sense to play it in second position. Index finger on 2, middle finger on 3, pinky finger on 5, and that way there's not going to be any stretching or any weird things you have to do. Okay. Hey Janice, welcome in. The sun is out up in Scotland. Good to hear. It's been a little rough for you up there. So we've got 2 2s, okay? Happy, and then you have a 0, birth, and then back to the 2, day 2, and then just switch over to the index, U. Now look at how I'm basically holding that G chord just by playing the melody. Okay, and then let's go continue on, 2 more 2s, and then again your middle finger. So the whole time I've really done nothing except basically use these 2 guys in their main habitat, right? And instead of doing them on 1 and 2 and then using my middle and ring, I've just minimized the amount of work I have to do by putting them on 2 and 3, and you end up being able to play faster when you're playing smarter. So let's go just that section right there again from the top. Ready, play. Section, you go back to those 2s. Your pinky is hanging. If you're in second position, your pinky's on 5, so you don't have to really stretch. Go grab the 2, middle finger on 3. Go grab the 2, and then open. And notice above that schmo, there's a fermata. It's going to hold. You're going to hold on to that for a little while, and then your middle finger on the 2 3s. Open. Okay, so not a ton of motion there. Hey Mary, welcome in. Not a ton of motion in there, trying to just keep everything compact. That way you can play faster. Okay, not very fast, but faster, right? So let's play from top to bottom real quick. 1, 2. The fermata in the middle of 6 is an important thought. If you're playing with if you're playing ukulele and everybody's singing along with you for somebody's birthday, there is a standard issue length for that note. Happy birthday, dear whoever. Happy birthday to you. And we have all agreed that there's this exact amount of time on that fermata. And so if you're playing with other people, you have to do that. But if you're playing on your own, you can make it whatever length you want. You're freaking out because I didn't keep going. Right? So I made it much longer than we usually do, and immediately you're like, go, it's time for you to go. You're going too far. But a fermata is up to you as a soloist how long you want to make that. You could ignore it altogether if you want. All right, so there's your melody. Yeah, most everybody knows that melody. I was in Bulgaria one time, and there was some girls at a cafe singing that in Bulgarian to a friend of theirs. Same exact melody, right? So I think everybody knows this tune. It's interesting that it became popular because it's really not particularly beginner-friendly, but somehow this became the happy birthday song all around the world. I think in England they tend to use For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, and in Mexico they tend to use Las Mañanitas as the happy birthday song. So, but everybody still knows this one anyway. All right, let's play the tough uke, and then I want to talk to you about why this song, something you really probably ought to do. Okay, so let's play the tough uke. Grab your G chord. You got 0, 2, 2, 2, so hit those. You're holding them down by holding the G chord. Then you got 0, 2, 0. So you're going to have to lift up your middle finger to get 0, 2, 0. I'm sorry, I'm lying. You're going to lift up your ring finger to get 0, 2, 0. Hit the 2. And then put your ring finger back. And then you got 2, 2, 2. So you got a choice. You can either do a bar, or you could just do all 3 fingers. Okay, and then hit 2 2s. Okay, if you've done a little bar, you're going to have to switch over to your 3 fingers anyway at this point, so that probably makes more sense just to do that in the first place. And then hit 2 2 0. I use index, middle, and then an open. Open on the first string. And then on G chord is 0, 2, 3. Okay, a couple more 2s. Pinky up here on 5. Strum that. Take your pinky off. Strum 0, 2, 3. Haven't moved anything yet. And now go grab 2, 2, 2. And then all zeros. Okay, ring finger on the 3s. Grab your G chord. Hit the 3. Hit the D7. And then go back to your G chord. Okay, let's do it one more time from the top. Ready, play. So there's your tough uke. Pretty playable. The hardest thing, of course, is when you're on that G chord in measure 5 and you got to get your pinky up to 5. Again, the nice part is it's just for that one note, and then you can take your pinky right back off. So that, in my mind, is the hardest part of the song to play. So you can now play this melody-wise and find somebody to play the chords. You could play it tough uke-wise and be the whole show. But the reality is the chances of you ever playing it that way are pretty low. Hey, Vic. What's more likely is you're just going to be singing somebody happy birthday, right? And in that case, you don't really want to go get the sheet music. You really want to just know the song. So let's take just a moment to talk about how I would approach this. I got that G chord. And I would start with a big old happy, right? Be silly, happy. And then I'm going to do 3 strums of G. Birthday to. And then getting from this G chord to the fancy D7 is pretty straightforward, right? Your middle finger is going to lead. It's going to go forward. And then you're just adding that bar on it too. Okay, so happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. And then just slide it back just mirror image. Middle finger pulls back, the index finger goes from being a bar to being on point, and then you get this finger, your ring finger on. You happy birthday, dear, and then back to the D7, Joe, and then lift up your bar, schmo. Let that ring for a second, and then don't strum. Happy, and then strum with your G chord. Birthday, and then use that alternate D7, the easier D7. Just take your G chord, move these 2 guys up, 2, and then right back. U to the G chord. Okay, so let's do it that way. Again, the hard part here is getting from G to D7 and back. Okay, and so just practice that little motion there. And then C, and then the nice part about this arrangement is once you say Joe Schmo, you got a second to get your G chord on because you're not going to strum it over happy. Happy birthday to you. Okay? Let's try it. 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Schmo. Happy birthday to you. Okay, and then you want to think about a silly moment, right? When you get the schmo, how about a little fermat or a little tremolo? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Schmo. Happy birthday to you. You can realistically get a double tremolo in there. That's how you're really going to play it for somebody. Now, you don't want to go look up sheet music. So here's what I do. Here's what I suggest. You know how I told you got to memorize My Spaghetti Monster because it's going to make you sound amazing and you're going to love it. Why not memorize this song too? It's only 4 chords, and you might. It's only going to take you a jiffy to figure it out. G chord to D7, back to G chord, and you just feel it. You just hear it. You're just going to know it when it's time to change. So G chord, D7, back to G. Hey Rob, there's 70 degrees. Yeah, apologize for missing yesterday. I had a last minute thing turn up and I couldn't get out of it. Probably could have got out of it. Chose not to. I've been reading too much Stoicism lately, so I'm learning to control the things that I can control. We're talking about memorizing these chords. If you remember it's in the key of G, G chord, go into D, G, D, G, D, and then coming back to G. So you know, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, birthday dear, and then back to the D7, Joe, Schmo. If you can remember, when you get the Schmo, just a plain old C chord, and then it's going to be G, the other D7, and G. So if you're memorizing it, you just have to remember some basic motions and some basic shapes and then listen. So if I'm not looking at the paper, happy birthday to, you can feel the chord change there. You, happy birthday to, feel the chord change. You, happy birthday dear Joe Schmo. Happy birthday to you. So if you'll memorize that, then you don't kind of go look up this. Then you don't kind of go get the sheet music. I had that come up one time with our more advanced group that's in our part of our orchestra. We were playing a gig, and the MC came up and she says, "Hey, can you play Happy Birthday for this guy out in the audience?" And I said, "Sure." And then the entire advanced group kind of freaked out a little bit because they always play from sheet music and they did not have Happy Birthday in their books. And so I said, "Well, you guys know it's just G D G D C G D G." And they're like, "No, we need the sheet music." So I had to run upstairs and find a printer and all this stuff and print it out for them. And it's kind of not what you want, right? Especially if you know people are going to be singing. You don't need the tough uke. You don't need the melody. You don't need any of that. You just need these chords. And so it's a great one. Maybe as a warm-up, you do your better bar. And then just make sure you have the chords to memorize for Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Schmo. Happy birthday to you. It's going to take you a minute. It's going to take you a little bit of effort to memorize it. But it's one of those, you don't want to have to go chase down the song sheet for Happy Birthday. All you're doing is you hear somebody's birthday, you go run, grab your ukulele. That's all you want to grab. You don't want to show up with a 3-ring binder and your music stand and your metronome and all that, right? You just want to go do it. And so there we go. And so that would be my suggestion on this one. Hey Q, welcome in. Janet says, "I've been practicing Tough Uke for birthday coming up, but think I'll concentrate on chords now." The thing is, and I will tell you, I tell this story often. Years ago, I had a guitar custom made for me, and the day I picked it up, the luthier, it was his birthday, and I was like, "Oh, happy birthday, Dan, so exciting." So I drive home and I'm like, I am going to do an instrumental guitar version for Dan on his birthday. So I got home and now I have the ability to play Happy Birthday at this point in my life, right? I can do this. But I decided, I'm going to do the best fingerstyle version I can do of this. And so I did. I went and got my paper, and I got it out. and I was going to videotape it and post it on Facebook. And I must have spent 2 hours fiddling with that thing and really going through it. And so what you guys have figured this out already. If you are a typical ukulele player, you're going to learn it this way. Somewhere over the rainbow way up high, and that's very rewarding, and that feels really great. And all you have to do is and this isn't all right. That's not the right way to play it. You got to learn all of your chords. And then you sing over that. Most people figure out pretty quickly they should probably not be singing, but some people never figure that out, and so they stay focused in on learning all their chords. They still need the piece of paper up there, but it's definitely an easier path to go once you get your chords figured out. And then you come wandering around here. I'm like, oh, we're hardly ever going to talk about chords. We're mostly going to talk about what specific shapes you need to have on here to execute the melody and the chords at the same time. And a lot of times the shape you have here and the chord that's on the paper have very little to do with one another, especially as you move up the neck and it says you need to play a G chord down here, and you're like, all right, there's a G chord, I'll play that G chord. Well, that looks nothing like this G chord, and so you have to learn both. And what it is, guys, is that this tough uke business is not, I named it not that way on purpose. It is really challenging. And so if you're thinking about, you know what, happy birthday, I got a couple of choices. One, if every time I do it, I make sure I have somebody who can sing with me, I'll do it just with the chords. Or if you happen to have a voice that's way better than Gary's, then you would just, again, learn the chords. But if you really want to do something impressive and really nice, you would do both, right? And so let's do that real quick just to make sure. Michelle says, all right, Gary, I got the idea. Memorize it. Let's do this. Let's go do this. You say, hey guys, we're all going to sing happy birthday to Carol, but now let's pick Michelle. Let's play Michelle. Michelle, we're going to sing you happy birthday. But before we sing the song, let me do a little introduction, okay? And then it'd be cool if you had it memorized, but this might be the place where you're like, I want to do a little intro, and then you guys will know when to come in. So what we want to do is play the tough uke first and then play the chords. So let's do that, okay? 2 times around. First time tough uke, and then switch over to singing. 1, 2. People are going to start singing. You say, wait, don't sing yet. Don't sing. And then keep going. Say, okay, join me. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michelle. And then try to keep them going for as long as you can. Happy birthday to you. Right? Now you've done the whole package. You've done some tough uke, you've done some chords, you've done some silly singing, you've made them behave by you conducting them. And so that's the full presentation, right? And again, if you want to take the time and the energy to memorize the tough uke, by all means, that's something that's exciting. On the songs that matter to me, I go ahead and memorize them. There's not very many songs like that, but every now and then a song is like, you really need to know how to play this thing, and I'll go ahead and memorize it. But on this particular song, I've never even bothered to memorize, even though I've taught this for 15 years now, never really bothered to memorize the tough uke, because I know the chances of me ever playing that in that manner is pretty remote. There's a ton of times when we've had to play the chords and sing it for somebody, and of course then if only I sounded like that. Well, yeah, that's what you're working on. I know. Oh, everybody's cheering me, right? But what you're looking for is what's the most likely scenario with this song. And again, it's different than the other songs. The other songs you're learning how to play tough uke. You really are. And this song, contributes to that adventure, but this is also a song you're likely to really use in real life. And so just take a minute or 10 or 3 weeks or whatever it takes to get these chords solid in your head, so that then you don't need the sheet music, and then you can just sing it for people. And it's always fun. I used to make this joke until somebody got mad at me, but if you have a teenage boy in your life, and it's his birthday, you want to find a time when he's going to have his buddies around, and then you show up with your ukulele, sit on his lap, and sing this birthday. You'll remember. You will have a great time. He will be mortified for the. He will never forget that day, and his buddies will have a great time and have you ribbon him and all this stuff. I am told that is. You shouldn't try to embarrass teenagers, but I was an English teacher in high school for way too long, and I have too much of a sarcastic streak in my soul to think that you shouldn't just be every opportunity just giving teenage boys all giving it to them, because the one thing that's going to happen, especially for young boys, they're going to think they know everything until they turn 27, and then the world is going to pound them into submission. So the sooner they find out that they are not in control of everything, the better. And you think of it as doing them a service. All right. So that's my thoughts on Happy Birthday. It's really a nice. It's not a song you're going to study in great depth, but it is one that you're probably going to play. And so at least memorizing the chords, I think, is pretty important. And then if you decide, you know what, I want to have a tough uke version of this as well, then you obviously have it there, and you can start to put that into your memory banks. Like Spaghetti Monster, it's just one of those songs where it's possible it's going to come up, right? Spaghetti Monster comes up when they say, hey, play me something. And when Happy Birthday comes up, you just want to go and sing it and jam it and have a little fun. Hey, Linda, welcome in. Jen, all right, so let's grab the baritone version. And baritone players, I do apologize. This was supposed to have been updated, and I don't have it updated yet. So at measure 2, you know how we were doing G chord? At measure 2, I have the wrong A7 on there. It's supposed to be the bar A7. So it's really 2, 2, 2, 3, just like on the other version. And then same thing down there at measure 6. I for some reason, I just put in the open A7. It needs to be the closed A7. And then the opposite of that is true at the end of measure 7. It's supposed to be the open version, and I put the closed version. So a lot of times when I copy from the ukulele version into the baritone version, the baritone blank kind of freaks out a little bit because it is a different instrument. And so thanks, Janice. Have a great day. There's that. Okay, so let's do the same thing with baritone. Ukulele players, if you are playing along, grab your D chord. That's right there, and your A7 is right there. Okay, and of course you know your G chord because that's what we're working on this week. So D chord, A7, and G. Baritone players, let's do the same thing. Let's go through, play the tough uke real slow, and then let's go through and sing it. 1, 2. Bar chord. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Schmo. Happy birthday to you. Okay, and again, whichever instrument you're playing, just take a minute to memorize that pattern. That way you don't got to use the sheet music and everybody has a good time. That's it. That's all I know. It's a short lesson when we do Happy Birthday because you all have this. You all already know the song. Take a minute to also just to make sure that the melody makes sense to you on here. way, if you have another person in your life, they play the melody, you play the chords, and then you make a duet out of this, right? Two of the husband and wife duet against, and then they go over to somebody's house, their friend's house, and do it as a duet. Super hilarious and super fun. All right, that's all I know about Happy Birthday. Tomorrow, guys, we will be digging into La Cucaracha. Now, La Cucaracha, you know how everything we play is so soft and beautiful? That's how we typically play everything. With La Cucaracha, we create a staccato feeling. And it gives you another tool in your toolbox for sometimes, not always, but sometimes on a gadgety song, you want to do a little bit of staccato playing, and we'll work on that a little bit tomorrow. La Cucaracha is a super fun song. It's about a little cockroach. Her leg, she was born, doesn't have a leg, and so she has to hop around everywhere, but she loves dancing and she loves music, and so she's busy dancing around the house. And of course they sweep her out the front door, and every time she hears music she comes dancing back in, and she dances all crazy. And so it's a fun song to work on the staccato effect on your ukulele, and it's not an effect you'll use for everything, but it's just another tool in your toolbox. So guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Next hour we have it's Timpanelli Tuesday up there. We don't do Timpanelli Tuesday every Tuesday, but a lot of Tuesdays. And we have new arpeggios up there. They're pretty challenging. But we also have the song Ain't We Got Fun, and it's not terrible, not terribly difficult. So if you feel like, hey, I'm starting to get this, it'd be fun to join the next level class today when we do Ain't We Got Fun. It's kind of fun. And a couple of places in it's pretty challenging, but overall it's pretty playable. So hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to pull the plug. Let's see. Mary, Vic, Rob, Marilyn, Janice, Michelle. I think that's everybody. Thanks for being here, and good to see you guys. Sorry about yesterday. I tried to announce that in plenty of time, but yesterday got away on me. Measure 3 is bar A. Mary, measure 3. Yeah, measure 3 is also a bar A. Yes, bar A7. Yes, Mary. Ron says, thank you. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday. Blanket happy birthday in advance. I had to finally turn off Facebook's birthday reminders. I was having so many birthday reminders. I just couldn't keep up with all of them. And so I finally had to turn it off. It was one of the saddest days of my life. All right, Michelle. Good to see you. And is that an explode? Oh, that's a birthday cake. I thought that was an exploding head. I was like, that didn't explode your head. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.